Yo, what's good YouTube? Tempo TCG here, back on the Shuffle Squad YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be covering over one of the best decks in our current Temporal Forces metagame, and that is Lugia VSTAR. Now this deck is super strong as it is able to do pretty much everything you could want out of a deck. It's able to swing with two prizers that have bulky amounts of HP. It's able to do infinite amounts of damage with Cinccino. It's very self-sufficient and accelerates a lot of energies. And overall, the deck feels really consistent right now, and I honestly think this is the perfect build for the deck. So starting from the top, we do have 4 Lugia Vs. These are literally just here to evolve to our Lugia V-Stars. Which, speaking of Lugia V-Star, there is 3 Lugia V-Stars. Lugia is an okay attacker with Tempest Dive, which for 4 energy does 220 damage, and you can discard a stadium in play. This is a really good out as it does get rid of Temple of Sinnoh, and it does deal a good amount of damage. 220 is perfect for swinging most V or basic EX Pokemon. Now, Lugia is mainly here for its Summoning Star ability, which does allow you to put 2 colorless Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench. Now, moving forward, we do have 4 Archeops, which is our target for Summoning Star, as Archeops has the Primal Turbo ability, which does let us search our deck for 2 special energy cards and attach them to our Pokemon in any way we like during our turn. Now, if we have 2 Archeops, that is 4 special energies in a turn, which is a crazy amount of energy acceleration. We do have 3 Minccinos. I know some lists are running 4, however, we have found that 3 is very ideal, and a 4th Lugia just helps the consistency, and that's kind of what we're doing with this deck, is trying to be as consistent as we can. Now, we are playing Call for Family Minccino, as it is just the better Minccino. Now, we do have 3 Cinccinos, which Cinccino has 110 HP, and it does have the special roll attack, which for 2 energies does 70 damage for each special energy attached to Cinccino. Now, one thing to note is that double turbo energy does not count as 2 energies, it only counts as 1. So where most Pokemon, it would count as 2, because Cinccino has special energy cards attached, it only counts as 1. So double turbo is not ideally going on our Cinccino. We do play 2 Lumineon, as Lumineon does allow us outs to all of our supporters, which are mostly consistency-based supporters such as Professor's Research, Iono, Serena, and Boss's Orders. We do play 1 Thumping Snorlax. Now, most decks were playing 2, or some were even playing 3 when this list was first coming out. However, I do feel like 1 is perfectly fine, as we're not really using it that much. It's kind of good in certain situations. It does not go Squawkabilly, so with that, it is pretty good. It is sometimes nice to surprise them and bench a basic Pokemon and just swing really hard. But Thumping Snore does need the Therapeutic Energy attached in order to work effectively, unless it's swinging for our last prize. Now, our supporter line is 4 Professor's Research. Research is literally here, helps us discard our Archeops, helps us go through our deck. We do have 2 Ionos, which is here for disruption and draw. 2 Serena, which is also here as kind of a boss's orders for other Pokemon V, but it also helps us discard our Archeops and draw cards. And then we've got 2 boss's orders, which every deck is playing boss's orders. You know how it works. And then we do play 1 Jacq. Now, Jacq is kind of just good in this deck, as it does let us search for 2 of any evolution Pokemon. This could be 2 Lugia V-Stars, a Lugia and an Archeops, 2 Archeops, an Archeops and a Cinccino. Doesn't really matter, it's just searching for 2 evolution Pokemon, and it is searchable through Lumineon, so it is a very good card in this deck. Now, we are playing for the most consistency that we can, so we are playing 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Capturing Aroma, 3 Great Ball, and a Master Ball. Having 12 search cards is very strong in this deck. It just gives us outs to all of our Pokemon and kind of stops us from bricking as much, because this deck is known to be very bricky, and I promise even with 2 Lumineon, you will still start at 50% of your games. Now, we are playing 1 Collapsed Stadium. This just helps if we've got a damaged Lugia on our bench or a Lumineon we need to dump, so our opponent can take 2 prizes. That's all Collapsed is here for. It also does get rid of Temple of Sinnoh, so it is pretty good for that reason as well, but it's kind of just here to get rid of our Lumineons, get rid of our Lugias. Our energy count is very standard. We are playing 4 Gift Energy. Gift just lets us drop to 7 when something's knocked out. And then 4 Jet Energy. Jet is really great at not only pivoting in the stall matchup, but also just being an energy for Cinccino to attack with. We did talk about Double Turbo a little bit, but it is really great onto Lugia, as it does allow Lugia to still swing for 200, or if we attach 2 Double Turbo energies, it does still swing for 180, and that does leave us a Primal Turbo available with our other Archeops, so we can attach to our Cinccino as well. Now, Mist Energy is the real star of the show in this deck. It does really stop so much in this current metagame, especially with Giratina kind of on the rise. It is really strong. Mist Energy prevents all effective attacks of our opponent's Pokemon, done to our Pokemon that have the Mist Energy attached. So Sableye can't hurt it, Roaring Moon can't hurt it with Frenzied Gouging, and Giratina Star Requiem cannot hurt it. We do also play 2 V-Guard Energy, which, going back to Giratina, means Giratina cannot one-shot our Lugia V-Stars, which is really good because that V-Guard Energy means Giratina can't... If we have V-Guard and Mist, Giratina literally can't do anything to our Lugia V-Stars, and we're essentially trading 2 prize knockouts, except we have a much more efficient attack. Now, lastly, we do have the Therapeutic Energy, which is there for Snorlax so that it can use the Thumping Snore. So yeah, here's the list. I think it's honestly super perfect. Shout out Zach for creating this list. I actually love it, and it's definitely helped me climb on the TCG Live ladder, and I really recommend it to you guys. As always, list is in the description. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and let's jump into some gameplay. Alrighty, so we called the coin flip. We did call tails. We do get choice here, so we are definitely going to go first. Lugia is definitely a deck that wants to go first, as it kind of just lets us evolve first, lets us get our Archeops in play first, hopefully. Kind of depends if Lugia functions or not. Here we do get a pretty good starting hand. We do get Lugia and Lax. We do get we do have a Capturing Aroma in our hand. We don't really have a way to discard anything, so Capturing Aroma could end up being not great for us. If it lands tails, we could go Minccino, or we could go for it. Sorry, fellas, it's getting kind of late here, to be honest. We could go for a Lumineon. We are playing another mirror. Well, you guys don't know that we're playing, but we are playing a mirror, which is interesting. We have played a couple mirrors now, and it tends to end turn 1. We do get a tails here, maybe going on. Just trying to think of what the best course of action here is. I actually think we could potentially go into a Minccino. We're not swinging this Lugia turn 1. We can just, but we don't have any way to get. Oh man, this is kind of tough here. I think maybe Minccino's fine, and we just kind of pray off the top deck. Oh, it's definitely interesting. Yeah, it's definitely not ideal. This hand is not the greatest. Lugia here does, or Minion here does guarantee us to swing. At least it lets us swing guaranteed in 2 turns, so I do actually think that's probably pretty proper. And then we can just go here and then go pass. They're not swinging our Lugia turn 1, so we don't really have anything to worry about. And let's just kind of see if they can get a better start than us. They do have Call for Family, so as long as they do have an energy in play, they are looking pretty good. They do get a Tails here, so they are going to get a basic Pokemon, which is likely just going to be a Lugia. Yeah, there's the Lugia there. Now, I guess we'll see what our top deck is. And we'll make our game plan around that. I'm thinking this turn we might just go Jacq. And then maybe attach, retreat into Lax, and then just pass. Or we could read the wind, but either way, I don't really like our odds of surviving. There's a Barrel. That's an odd one to see in Lugia. They're going to go Gift Energy, Minccino, and then Call for Family, I'm assuming. They're going to go Ultra Ball, Archeops, and DTE. Probably for another Archeops, or for the Lugia V-Star / the Barrel. I definitely don't think Barrel is a card this deck needs. I think it already kind of struggles with consistency, so I really think Barrel is not the best. They Ultra Ball for another Minccino, which kind of feels odd. Iono here is pretty good, to be honest. Our hand's kind of dead. It does mean we did waste that Capturing Aroma into pretty much nothing again. We could go Heads Capturing Aroma for a Drops, and then flip another Heads Capturing Aroma for Lugia V-Star. Would be crazy. Attach DTE for turn, and then Research. I think that'd be pretty good, but that means we have to flip double Heads, which isn't likely. We could go Heads Tails, and then just grab Minccino, and then a... I'm trying to think of what else we do. I guess it kind of depends what we top deck and everything. Here we do top deck, just another Research, so honestly not the best. We're going to go Capturing Aroma. Heads or Tails is fine. We're going to go Heads, so we are able to get a Lugia V-Star because we have nothing in our discard pile. We can get Lugia V-Star or Archeops, but I do think because we are researching that Archeops is probably a better card to grab. We do only have 2 Lugia V-Star in our deck, so it's a little bit sketch. If we do flip Heads here, we're just going to grab another Lugia. We do get a Tails, so I'm thinking we're definitely going into Minccino. We're going to grab Minccino, bench it, attach a DTE to Lugia, and then just pray we have a way into our after this Professor's Research. So here, Professor's Research into literally nothing again. We're going to bench a Lugia, and then we are just going to go Read the Wind, discarding this Archeops, and pray we get into any way. So there's a Ultra Ball, so they definitely could be worse. We don't have a gift on even, so this Lugia getting knocked out is just kind of tragic. Or Their hand is pretty large, so they're probably going to have an out to a Lugia V-Star. But I guess we can kind of just play from behind. They're going to Great Ball here. Let's see what they're grabbing. They're going to grab an Archeops here. Do they have 2 Chops in the discard yet? I believe there is only 1. They're going to go Capturing Aroma. If it is heads, we're definitely not looking great. Tails is fine. It does let them grab Lumineon, though. They don't grab anything, so maybe they're not playing Lumineon, is kind of my thinking. Because Lumineon here for other cards could definitely be really strong. If they don't have a way to get... I guess they're locked to 1 Archeops. So maybe us not taking a knockout was fine. They're going to go gift on to this Lugia, Vault to the Barrel. We might just get gentle slapped here, boys. We're going to go Serena, discarding Chops Doof. Let's see what they can get off the Chops Doof. There's another another Cinccino. And here, let's kind of see what they can make happen. They are able to Industrious and Sizer still, but not being able to get 2 Chops is kind of brutal. It kind of helps, though, because it does mean that our Lugia V-Star at the current moment, if we get one next turn, is very, very safe, to be honest. We're going to go evolve to Lugia V-Star and then grab the Chops. This does mean our Lugia V is definitely dead, unless they make the mistake of grabbing a DTE. Kind of alright. They're going to Gentle Slap here. They're not even going to go in with the V-Star. Now, we could potentially play a Boss's Orders and boss around this. Ultra Ball, I'm thinking Ultra Ball, the best cards for us to discard are definitely this Lugia V and probably this Gift Energy. I do think we're going to go Jet into... I'm thinking Jet into Minccino is fine, and then Boss's Orders... Yeah, I think Jet into Minccino, Boss's Orders, the V-Star, because I doubt they have a second V-Star, because if they did, they would have evolved into it. So I think here we can go Boss's Orders, the Lugia V-Star. Go in with our Summoning Star, grab 2 Archeops. There's our 2 Chops. And here we can definitely just go Master Ball for a Cinccino. There's our lone Cinccino in the deck. So it's definitely a little bit scary. So we definitely have to deal with the Lugia V-Stars early and definitely jump ahead on prizes. Then we can go Chops. Go Primal Turbo and then grab... we'll go V-Guard and Gift. Just in case this thing gets knocked out, we'll go V-Guard Gift. And here we can go Primal Turbo again. And then we are able to swing for a knockout. Now, we do need to swing 280, so we just have to grab 1 more energy. So I'm thinking Mist Energy is probably fine. We're not going to play anything that Mist Energy is going to affect. So we're just going to grab 1 Mist Energy, attach it to Cinccino. And then we are just going to swing Special Roll for 280 damage and the knockout. They do have Gift on, so they are drawing 3. But you know what? We are knocking out their Lugia, going up 2 prizes instead of their Cinccino. And we are forcing them to have an out to another Lugia, so I do think it's not the worst play for us to do that. They do go into Cinccino, so I'm kind of thinking they probably have an out. Here's a Great Ball. They're only a deck of 21, so the chances they don't find a Lugia V-Star are not very high, but they don't. Assuming they play 3, they're probably finding one. They're going to go Serena, draw 2. Lugia V-Star there. Capturing Aroma. Hopefully it lands Tails. Tails would actually be so gas. Tails for us again. The gods are definitely on our side here. Oh, they do have a Lugia V-Star anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And then they can go Summoning Star. Are they going to Industrious before they go in with the Primal Turbo? I guess we'll never know. Having another Cinccino in play is kind of a little bit sketchy. We do have 1 Cinccino prized. We do need to take some prize cards. Hopefully this next prize card is the Cinccino. We can go Lugia swing. They do just attach 2. They're going to go Special Roll, I'm assuming, for 140. It'd be kind of weird if they went for any more than that, because that's just wasting energy. So here they're going to go Industrious for 2. I think the Barrel's still kind of weird, but you know what? It's kind of working for them. So what can I say? They're going to go Special Roll for 1 prize. Now we're going to swing in with our Lugia. We're going to take 2 draw. It's okay. Lugia V-Star is definitely our best attacker here. They're definitely swinging our Lugia V-Star next turn, though, so that's kind of unfortunate. Either way, we could go Boss's Orders and kind of hinder them, but both of these having 2 energies is kind of a problem, as it already is. We're going to go bench Cinccino. We're going to go... the gift attached to Lugia V-Star, I think, is pretty good. We can go Iono them. I think Iono is probably fine. but it doesn't really help us. It just puts us to a lower hand, but our hand is all supporters right now. I think we're just going to start off and just go Primal Turbo onto Cinccino. I think we can go Gift Energy to Cinccino and probably Jet. I think both these are good cards. Gonna go those two to there. Do we have our Snorlax still? Yeah, we should still have Snorlax. We could go Iono. Actually, don't hate that play, but we do have a boss's orders in hand. So I think our ideal line is going to be swing this Lugia VSTAR for 2, swing this Cinccino, and swing another Cinccino. I think that's probably fine because they're definitely not keeping up on the prize race on us. And then we can Primal Turbo again. Force them to have a boss's orders. We could also just go 2 double turbos onto this Lugia V. Force them to commit a lot of energy. I actually think we're just going to go 1 DTE onto this Lugia V. And then just kind of Tempest Dive here. Swing this Cinccino. We're down to 3 prizes. So we can swing this Lugia V with the boss's orders next turn, hopefully. As long as we can get Cinccino. We're going to take our own prize. We could have Jacq for Cinccino, but there's Cinccino right there, so we're fine. Oh yeah, Cinccino was prized. I knew that. Never mind. Never mind. Ignore everything I'm saying, fellas. So here they go into Lugia VSTAR instead of Cinccino, which is a little bit odd. They do get a boss's orders. They're probably going to boss this Minccino. They definitely are. Next turn, we can just boss their Minccino and kind of just be fine. They're going to go Primal Turbo, so they are going to get Tempest Dive, but we can always just boss us up this Minccino. This does put them to 2, or to 4, and then it'll put us to 2. And they're definitely not able to swing our Lugia VSTAR with anything besides their Lugia VSTAR. In which case, we just go retreat, swing, retreat, swing. So I do think we're looking really, really good this game. Right now, we're just up 1 prize. They're going to go Jet. Okay, I thought they were going to Jet into Minccino. I was like, well, that's interesting. They did attach their Therapeutic to their Lugia instead of their Lax, so that's a little bit odd. Unless they do have another Therapeutic. They're just going to go... Yeah, they do have another Therapeutic. There's a second Therapeutic, so that's on the Lax now. The Lax is actually a little bit scary because it does pressure our Snorlax and our Archeops and our Lugias. We don't have our Snorlax out, but it's still a little bit scary. We can't go boss's orders here on this other Cinccino just to force it so they cannot swing our Lugia VSTAR. I think that puts us fairly safe, fellas. This deck actually feels kind of busted, even though we didn't start the best. They definitely benching that Bavarial was kind of bad for them, although he's kind of put in work. They do only have 7 cards in their deck, so they probably are kind of lacking on energies here. I'm going to go Lugia VSTAR. Do we have any more Minccinos is kind of my question. We have 1 Minccino potentially. So here, I'm going to go Ultra Ball away, research Iono. We're going to grab this Minccino here. I do think Minccino is really solid for us because it just gives us a Cinccino play next. We're going to boss's orders this Cinccino. And then we can go Primal Turbo 2 onto Minccino. We're going to go V-Guard and Therapeutic, I guess. Or V-Guard Jet is probably better. V-Guard Jet to Minccino. And then we can just swing Tempest Dive here for the knockout on this Cinccino. We're going to go Gift, draw 1. They do have a 6-card deck, so they're kind of looking like they're in a pickle here. We do get a Lugia VSTAR, so there we are able to evolve our Lugia V. Let's see what they promote here. I'm thinking they're probably just going to go into Lugia. I think that makes the most sense. They swing Lugia. Hopefully they have another boss's orders to boss our Cinccino again, because it's kind of the only thing that threatens them. They have played 1 boss. 3 Iono, 2 Serena. They definitely still have another boss. There's 5 cards in their deck though, so I don't really know how they're going to get any more energies. This is kind of like, the Bavarial seems hurtful, right? Because you're just drawing all your energies. They're going to go retreat, which is crazy to me. But I guess swinging with Thumping Snore is good. However, this does mean if we get a boss's orders, we are definitely winning this game. Which, I mean, I can't complain about. They're going to go Jet to Lugia, which is crazy. This doesn't even swing for a knockout. I actually don't... Oh, I guess it swings to Lugia V for a knockout, though. But now we can just promote to Cinccino, I think, and then just win. That's probably alright. There's the 2 prizes there. We just promoted a Minccino, evolved to Cinccino, swing. I guess it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, like, you got 4 cards in deck. Like, what's the end goal here? We're going to go evolve to Cinccino, Primal Turbo. The Primal Turbo, Therapeutic for Therapeutic and DTE, and then we just attach the Jet for the game. We're going to 1-2, and then we're going to attach Jet. And then that is going to be game in the Lugia VSTAR Mirror for 330 damage. It was definitely a closer game than I kind of thought it was going to be. They did get down to 2 prizes, but I do think we were definitely in a winning position that whole time. So, you know what? I'm kind of gassed on it. Lugia VSTAR is definitely nuts. Yeah, guys. I appreciate you guys watching, and until next time, see ya later. I don't know. Who knows what I'm supposed to say? I don't know how to do outros. Whatever. Talk to you guys later.
Want to support the Shuffle Squad? Be sure to check out all of our sponsors in the description to pick up Pokemon TCG singles, sealed, and PTCG live codes. You made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching this entire video from the Shuffle Squad. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate each and every person that supports our content, watches what we have going on every single day, every single week, even from time to time, and continuously allows us to have a forum to project our creative content towards the Pokemon TCG community. So if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and even leave a comment to help boost the YouTube algorithm. That being said, we'll catch you with our next video. Thanks again. Take it easy.